so lonely, broken angel. I'm so lonely.
Raila Odinga, welcome to Hardtalk.
Thank you, Zainab.
Be honest with me, do you really believe you are president of Kenya?
Don't I look presidential?
Well, you're wearing a smart suit.
I think I do. And the majority of Kenyans believe that I am their president.
The majority of Kenyans believe that you are their president. If you listen to what people are saying, for example, Chamgay FM radio, which is obviously supports the government, but nevertheless they say things like your so-called swearing-in ceremony is meaningless, whereas Raila Odinga's State House, this was a farewell party for you. That's what Kenyans are saying.
Well, there are a few Kenyans like those ones who will say that. But of course, it's just a joke they're making. They know that the occasion was a very serious occasion. It was aimed at ending the circus of elections last year, so that we can then now move forward. So you don't just have to be in a state house as a president. As a people's president, we have a very important agenda that we want to push forward in order to bring this country back on track.
There is no constitutional basis, Raila Odinga, for what you have done, declaring yourself people's president, saying you want to set up a parallel government. President Uhuru Kenyatta is very, very angry with you. His deputy, William Ruto, has described your swearing in as a comedy and drama. He says those hell-bent on continuing to create drama should know that they are on their own. You are on your own.
Zainab, I think really there's what you can call as a comedy. But what we did is based on constitution. We made the constitution and ensure that when as Kenyans reach a situation like this, they have the power. Article 1 of our constitution vests the sovereignty in the people. The people of Kenya have got the sovereignty. They can exercise it directly or donate it to their elected representatives.
Look, if that were the case and you had as much support as you claim you have, why did 3 of your 4 coalition partners in NASA, nothing to do with space, it's the National Super Alliance, the opposition grouping which you head, 3 of the 4 stayed away, including Kalonzo, your running mate? They don't approve of what you're doing. You're on your own.
They have explained very clearly. The 2 did not have to take an oath. Kalonzo said that he would take an oath at a later date.
But he didn't turn up.
He didn't turn up, and he has explained why he did not turn up. I don't want to speak for him. But what I'm saying is that their not being there did not in any way reduce the significance or the importance of the occasion. And they fully have said that they fully stand behind it and support it.
Is that the case? Because when you talk to people in Kenya, informed opinion suggests that they didn't support you because they're relatively young. You're a man in your early 70s now, and they think, look, we've got a political future. We don't want to be involved in this act which the government has described as an act of high treason.
Zainab, they know very clearly that if we do not solve the dispute over the 2017 elections, there will be no 2022 elections. Because if they will get away with stealing, rigging the way they did this last time around, there is no guarantee that 2022 will not be rigged. What we are trying to do is to bring to end electoral fraud, imposing what you call electoral coup on the people. It's basically a coup d'etat, when the people have voted one way and the government, because they have taken the electoral body hostage, then declare different results and then impose themselves on the people.
So I just remind everybody that, of course, there were 2 elections last year, August the 8th and that election result was declared null and void by the Supreme Court because you challenged it. You said, look, there was fraud. And the government, President Kenyatta, accepted it reluctantly, the verdict, but he went ahead with it. October the 26th, there were a second election, which you decided not to run in. And then that went ahead, and President Kenyatta won that election. The result was upheld by the international community. Former South African President Thabo Mbeki for the African Union said the result is good. The European Union, the United States, the whole world accepted the validity of that election result in October.
Zainab, the Supreme Court, in making a ruling, said that there were illegalities and irregularities that therefore made the elections of August 8th a nullity, the declaration, and ordered that the Commission should conduct elections in accordance with the law and the Constitution.
That's the case.
So we asked
asked
the Commission to sit down with us and address the illegalities and regularities before a new election is held, so that we don't go for a repeat of what had happened on August 8th.
But really, if you had challenged the validity of that election in August and people accept, and the Supreme Court said, fine, let's rerun, surely you should have run in October. And if you weren't happy with the result, challenge it again in the courts.
What would you do in my situation when the chairman of the Election Commission himself, 8 days to the October elections, on a live television interview says that he is not prepared, he's not ready? The Commission cannot conduct a free and fair elections on the 26th of October. And one of the commissioners resigns, also citing irregularities, pressures from State House, saying that 4 of the 7 commissioners take instructions from State House.
Right.
I'm so lonely, broken.